So if you are thinking of selling your home, there are a few crucial details your agent should know to make the selling process smooth and successful. Now, some of these details originate from the most often requested information from other buyers and other agents. And in today's video, I will share with you the top 5 things your agent needs to know before putting your home on the market, plus 2 bonus points at the end. Now, I'm Harold Powell. I'm a local real estate agent here serving Ventura and the surrounding areas. And if you are new to the channel and you are interested in all things real estate for the Ventura area, then I suggest hitting the subscribe, like, and bell icon to be notified of future content. All right, so let's get into the top 5 things your agent needs to know about your property. Number 1, the features of your home. So most sellers know their home better than anyone else, so it's best to share with your agent the top 3 to 5 features that you like about your home or why you like living there. So for example, if there's a park nearby with trails like Harmon Canyon, a stunning view, or a beautiful remodeled kitchen, it could even be a one-of-a-kind layout or ADU, or something about the location that would be valuable to the next buyer. Naturally, this information is shared with the potential buyers or other agents, so offering these types of insights is helpful in the marketing of the property. Additionally, need to tell your agent about recent upgrades or renovations. We need to know, did you replace the roof, add AC, plumbing or electrical updates, or remodel a bathroom or kitchen? Now, these updates obviously add value and will be included in promoting the property. Number 2 is lease items. Now, the big one here that we have to deal with is a solar lease. So when selling a house with a solar lease, you typically have 2 options. Either buy out the remaining lease before selling the property, allowing you to sell the solar panels as part of the house, or transfer the existing solar lease to the new buyer, requiring them to take over the lease payments. And in both cases, it's crucial to provide the lease details to the potential buyers early on, especially since the lenders will include the payment as part of the borrower's monthly payment when qualifying for the loan. So if a lender has qualified the buyer without the lease payment when submitting an offer, it's possible your deal could fall apart because the buyer can't qualify. So we do need to make sure the lender has that. Secondly, the most buyers will want to review the lease prior to submitting an offer. I'd rather them review it up front before submitting an offer than back out while in escrow because of the lease terms. Otherwise, once you're in escrow, it's critical to work with the solar company early on because the solar company will also have to approve the buyer. The solar company will often perform a credit check on the buyer to ensure that they can manage the lease payments. Now, I've seen the solar lease companies often take 2, maybe 3 weeks to get the transfer approved and set up, so it can be a bit of a nail biter when you have concurrent closings being held up by a solar lease transfer. The other items that need to be disclosed is whether the water softeners or reverse osmosis systems are owned or leased. Typically, the owned systems will stay with the property. Now, this brings me to number 3, inclusions and exclusions. So, if you're a home seller, you'll need to decide what things you're going to want to keep or include or exclude from the sale of the property. Now, the current California purchase agreement in paragraph 9B addresses what items will be included. The most common statement you will see in the purchase agreement regarding the sale of the property is fixtures are items that are physically attached to the home, like cabinets, light fixtures, or built-in appliances. Now, these are typically included in the sale unless otherwise specified in the contract, and most sellers will typically leave freestanding stove, security system, water softener if owned, window coverings, and light fixtures as examples. But there may be items that you may want to exclude from the sale, such as washer and dryer or a refrigerator. Obviously, if your refrigerator is built in, it will be considered a fixture and therefore be sold with the property. But sometimes you may have refrigerators out in the garage that are to be excluded. Now, Draperies, window treatments, and light fixtures are usually sold with the property because they are, again, considered fixtures. So if you do want a chandelier that you want to take with you because it has maybe special meaning or value to you, then you'll want to exclude that in the listing. But better still is if you do have the chandelier or some draperies or things you want to keep to take with you, I recommend removing it before you put it on the market so there's no dispute. And quite honestly, it's ideal to have this done before even photos are taken on the property. Now, my pro tip here on included and excluded items is to review every offer at the top of page 3 of the California Purchase Agreement under items included and excluded. Here, the buyer can ask for the seller to include things like potted plants, a shed that would normally not be included in the sale of the property. So be sure to take a look at that list of included and excluded items before you sign off on the purchase agreement, since this will supersede any previous agreements listed in the MLS and is legally binding. Number 4, disclosure. Now, the good news is that disclosure forms are designed to help the seller disclose all known material facts about the property, and sellers are legally obligated to disclose all known material facts about the property to the buyer. And one of the most common causes for sellers being sued is for either not disclosing material facts or misrepresenting material facts. And so these forms are designed to uncover material facts for the seller to disclose. And the basic rule of thumb here is, when in doubt, disclose, disclose, and disclose. So the benefit of providing it to the agent early on is we often get calls from other agents and buyers asking about the age of the roof, any known issues, repairs that were done on the property, or if someone has even passed away in the property. So it allows the agent to share the information with the other agents and potential buyers up front. The second benefit of having it done before going on the market is the purchase agreement does state that we as agents have to provide the disclosures to the buyer within 7 days of acceptance of the offer. So if this is delayed, then it will likely add to the length of time that the buyer has for the inspection period, which drags that time frame out. So my pro tip here is to also provide receipts of work done, and by providing receipts of repairs and work done by the handyman or contractors, it really does demonstrate 2 important things to the buyer. Number 1, that you are taking care of the home, and 2, it gives the buyer a peace of mind that they are making a good decision in buying your property. Now, if there are issues and you don't like to be surprised, then getting certain inspections up front can eliminate potential surprises for you and your buyer. And if you want to know more about this, I suggest watching my video on how to prepare for a home inspection. All right, so moving on to number 5. For properties that are located in an HOA, such as condos or townhomes, we need the homeowners association's name, the management company, their phone number, and most importantly, the monthly dues. And the monthly dues will impact the buyer's ability to qualify the loan. So it is important to provide that information again up front in order to avoid the buyer having to cancel the escrow because they couldn't qualify. On the flip side, every buyer also wants to know what is included in the HOA fees, such as pool, roofs maintenance, landscape maintenance, common areas, and potentially insurance. Lastly, we need to know if there's any special assessments that have been assessed or will be assessed to pay for things such as roof repairs or other HOA responsibilities. Now, I have 2 bonus tips for you. Number 1, a lot of buyers are having challenges finding fire insurance, so letting your agent know who your home insurance carrier is, the contact information as well, can be helpful to the next buyer in locating potential insurance. Bonus tip number 2, if you have a pool, more than likely your buyer is going to be asking questions like, when was it last replastered and who services it? The other most common question is, how deep is the pool? So if you don't know, just dip the pool leaf skimmer to the bottom of the pool and then measure the water level on it to get the pool depth. Well, I hope you found today's video helpful, and if so, give it a thumbs up. Thanks.